Presentation about surgical technique of optic capture in pediatric traumatic cataract. Optic capture of IOL is a technique in which IOL optic is fixed with capsular excess margin, can be placed in the sulcus, and optic can be captured with anterior capsule, posterior capsule, or both. Alternately, IOL can be placed in the bag and optic can be captured with anterior or posterior capsule. Now, why should we use this technique in children with traumatic cataract? This technique offers several advantages. It is a simple technique. It provides good centration and good anatomical outcomes. There is reduced risk of visual axis opacification and it can be used in most cases. First case is a 7-year-old boy who presented with open globe injury. Corneal perforation repair and lens aspiration was performed in the first sitting. Clinical picture shows anterior capsular defect with fibrosed margin and posterior capsular defect. In this video, we would like to show our preferred technique of optic capture where IOL optic is captured with both anterior and posterior capsular excess. At the beginning, 3 MVR entries are made. Adrenaline is injected to dilate pupil. Viscoelastic is injected in the anterior chamber as well as in the bag. Microincision forceps is used to convert the peripheral posterior capsular defect into posterior capsular excess of adequate size. Two nicks are given 5 mm apart in the margins of fibrosed anterior capsule. This guides the size of capsular excess. These nicks are used to enlarge the anterior capsular defect in a circular fashion using microincision forceps. Wound is enlarged to 3.2 mm size. A multi-piece IOL is then inserted in the sulcus. After insertion, the second haptic is carefully dialed in the sulcus. Optic is then slid behind both anterior and posterior capsular excess. This will cause both the capsules to fuse together later and prevent migration of lens epithelial cells and hence reduce VO formation. Viscoelastic is removed and wounds are hydrated at the end. Second case is of a 4-year-old boy with repaired perforation and ruptured anterior capsule. UVM shows an intact posterior capsule. After making MVR entries, bimanual irrigation and aspiration is used to remove lens matter. Nick is given in the posterior capsule and a manual PCC is performed using microincision forceps. Posterior capsular excess is enlarged to about 5 mm size using Callisto Rexus Assist tool in the microscope. IOL is then injected in the sulcus and captured with posterior capsule. Similar steps are performed at the end. Third case is that of an 8-year-old boy with closed globe injury. Clinically, cataractous lens with intact anterior capsule is seen. UVM shows a large posterior capsular defect with lens matter behind posterior capsule. Three MVR entries are made. Dye is injected in the anterior chamber to stain the capsule as there is no glow. Viscoelastic is injected in the chamber and anterior capsular excess is performed using Utrata's capsular excess forceps. Callister ring is used for sizing. You can notice the capsule is re-grasped multiple times to ensure a good size of rhexis. Hydrodissection is avoided. Lens aspiration is performed by using vitrectomy cutter in IA cut mode. In the beginning, dry aspiration is performed, followed by use of irrigation at low IOP and low flow rate. This prevents lens matter drop in vitreous cavity. Cortical cleanup is done using IA cut mode, and limited anterior vitrectomy is performed using cut IA mode. After limited anterior vitrectomy, lens matter removal is completed. PCIL is injected in the sulcus and dialed carefully. IOL is then captured with anterior capsular rhexis. Last case is a 5-year-old boy with partially absorbed cataract. Since UVM shows both capsules fused together, we planned IOL capture with bag complex. In such cases, surgical duration can be reduced by avoiding anterior and posterior capsular rhexis. After MVR entry, we use vitrectomy cutter in alternate cut IA and IA cut mode to cut the capsular membrane and remove lens matter. This is used to create a central and circular opening. Limited anterior vitrectomy is performed after that. Wound is enlarged and IOL is inserted in the sulcus. Second haptic is carefully dialed in the sulcus. Optic is captured with the bag complex after dialing both the haptics in the sulcus. IOL should not be dialed after optic capture. Conversion of circular capsular rhexis to spindle shape confirms a good optic capture, which can be used as an endpoint. We have observed good long-term outcomes with this technique. To conclude, we would like to emphasize that it is a simple technique which provides good centration and reduces risk of VO formation. This can be used even in difficult scenarios such as ruptured anterior and posterior capsules, and hence serves as a universal technique for traumatic cataracts.
Thank you, Dr.
This
Chirakshi.
is a video presentation about surgical technique of optic capture in pediatric traumatic cataracts.
I find the cases were good. What is your idea about vitrector-induced BPC?
So, like I have shown in the last case, we can use it to perform both anterior and posterior capsular rhexis. In most cases, we do manual PCC, but vitrectomy assisted can also be done. The only problem with that is the strength is not as good as a circular PCC performed with the rhexis forceps. In those cases, an IOL insertion in the bag has to be more gentle and careful. You can use a safe technique to implant the IOL, and in most cases, it will work well. The advantage with the vitrectomy cutter technique is that it can be performed even after the insertion of IOL through a port and cutter. And for a beginner, it's a very good idea.
Lovely videos. I just wanted to, about the fifth case which you presented.
Yes.
2 points. Number one, would you have considered pars plana vitrectomy? In any case, you had to remove both anterior and the posterior capsule over here by vitrectomy cutter. Number one. And then number two, I found that a lot of cortex was still remaining. Would you not expect cortical matter to go into whether vitreous and
So that is, okay, that's
good pars plana vitrectomy with removal of the entire cortical matter would have been probably better post-operative progress.
Sir, in this case, if I can show you again, actually the anterior and posterior capsule is fibrosed. The cortical matter was aspirated under the capsule. The cortical matter was aspirated from under the capsule and most of the cortical matter was taken out. The fibrosed capsule was left as such, and with the fibrosed capsule, a capture was performed. A posterior route can also be used in this case, just we need an additional port for that, and we have to use the vitreoretina setup. That's the difference. In anterior one as well, using 2 MVR entries and a cutter, I think we can do an equally good job from the anterior route as well.
You use 3-piece lenses in all this? Or
So
you
for
can
capture, we recommend only 3-piece lenses.
3-piece, okay.
Yes, not the single-piece ones.
If at all you have to go for a pars plana route, you have to put the trocar cannula beforehand.
Yes, sir.
You can't afford to do it after
Absolutely.
the operation and all that. Number one. Number two, would you like to put tricot to see whether there is vitreous disturbance or not?
So we do use it in some cases, but if we see that the margin of the capsular excess is free, in those cases, especially in pediatric cases, when the vitreous is very well formed, we can actually see the vitreous strands. But as an endpoint, many times we do use tricot, and that's a very good idea to use tricot in these cases to ensure a complete vitrectomy.
And number three, till what age we like to do a posterior capsular excess?
So in traumatic cataract, we use it till 8 years of age. In other cases, in congenital cataract or developmental cataract, the age limit can be lower, say for a vitrectomy 5 years and posterior capsular excess 6 years, which has been published by Wilson et al. But in traumatic cases, we see a much higher incidence of posterior capsular opacification formation and visual axis opacification. So for till 8 years, we do it for all patients.
All right, good.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.